You've been saying before you're waiting for any good news from Brexit. Do we get it?
Well, a little bit. I mean, I think this was sort of a sensible move forward. I think it lessens the prospects of a hard Brexit because people at long last are having to get real. There's all sorts of people who live in the UK who are Europeans. You have to sort out rights for them. It looks like in the end free movement of people is almost going to be inevitable. The divorce bill looks really, really high. And eventually the Brexiteers, who seem not to have kind of thought this thing through, they said there'll be 350 million a week for the National Health Service, which was, of course, nonsense. But now they've had to realise and accept that the possibility of a hard border in Ireland is an impossibility. So a move has been made there, but it's a grand fudge. Lots of infighting within the Conservative Party and the coalition government. I think it's a step forward. It's a step to common sense. It's a step towards soft Brexit, I think. But I guess the way I would describe it after listening to the comments on Friday, the coalition government, the members of it are fighting with each other like ferrets in a sack. And it's pretty hard. If you think back to the uncertainty we were talking about a little while ago, I think the markets looked at this as a sort of calm, a realization that you're going to have to fudge it. And I think that was the sensible thing we saw. And also the expectation. People talked about, Davis and Gove actually talked about, well, if the people don't like it, they can actually vote a government out. But the worry for many people is actually we may well see a vote for a new government not that too distant future. So I think this is up in the air. I think hard Brexit has been pulled back, and I think people are now starting to get mugged by reality.
So, Danny, are you saying we can't exactly call this a win for Theresa May just yet? I mean, did the UK essentially have to cave in order to get this deal through?
Well, I don't think she would see it as a great victory, but I think she's had to cave because most of the things we've heard coming from the Brexiteers were completely disastrous. I mean, I would characterize it by what the Foreign Secretary said. He said their strategy was to have their cake and eat it. Well, that's now everyone's realised that there's not much cake there for the Brits. They're a very weak bargaining position. I mean, a number of the people said we shouldn't pay anything as part of the divorce bill. They're going to pay us. Well, the realisation in this document that they released on Friday, we're talking about 40, maybe 50 billion euros. So instead of them paying us, we're paying them by an awful lot. And the Brexiteers, like Farage, called this a national humiliation. So obviously this is a long way to go, but I think this pulls back some of the craziness from the possibility of hard Brexit, leaving without a deal, and basically giving up on the idea that you can have all these things that you want, access to the market, but you don't have to have free movement of people's capital goods and so on.